We're back in a year of memorable Republican debate moments. None sparked as much shock and outrage, I'd say, as the audience booing a gay soldier in the field who submitted a question on Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Let's take a look.
In 2010, when I was deployed to Iraq, I had to lie about who I was because I'm a gay soldier, and I didn't want to lose my job. My question is, under one of your presidencies, do you intend to circumvent the progress that's been made for gay and lesbian soldiers in the military?
Yeah, I would say any type of sexual activity has absolutely no place in the military.
Well, that's a first. Anyway, well, that soldier, Army Captain Steve Hill, returned from Iraq last month. He's with us tonight to share his reaction to that response that night. Welcome. Steve, thank you so much for coming on. And I don't have a whole lot of time, but you've got all of it, okay? Tell me what the reaction was to that event for you, what the reaction has been since you came out with your orientation, thanks to the end of DADT. Take some time. Tell us about the whole experience.
Basically, when I submitted the question, I've been in the Army about 20 years, and I submitted the question because I've had a lot of times in the military where I'd go to the fireworks and, I'd be sitting there and they'd say, we want to put a shout out to the troops, and it made me feel like I should be really, really happy at that moment, and then I would all of a sudden realize that I was fighting for everybody's rights except my own. And so when I'd heard some of the Republican candidates had said that they would repeal the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, I felt inclined to ask them, is that true, and is that what you would do? Because so many people said that they might come out, and I was, fearful for them to come out and then have that happen. And I was pretty surprised when the boos happened. It was shocking to me. My gut kind of dropped out. I thought that I'd done something wrong, and I was a little bit afraid that I'd done something wrong. But I think worse is probably Mr. Santorum's response got so many cheers where, he said that it's a special privilege for me to be in the military. And I can't tell you so many times that people would come over to my house, fellow soldiers, and I'd have to run through my own house, and I'd have to hide pictures of me and Josh, my husband that I'm married to. And I mean, that's not a special privilege to me at all.
What has been the general reaction? My dad told me he was in the Navy. He said there's no secret there were gay guys working with him. It was just accepted. This period where you couldn't really say what you were, but people knew you were. How's it different now that people know who you are because you say who you are?
The military has been 100% positive. Everybody in the military has been awesome about this, because I think that when people know you as a soldier, they know that you're a soldier, and that's what matters to them. And as a matter of fact, the New Hampshire representative, Alfred Baldessaro, I think, had made some comments about me coming out and to the Republican debate, and he said, I'm glad that they booed him. And my fellow soldiers were really, really angry at some of those comments because, they said, he basically said that we wouldn't protect him in the field. And they said, no, that's not correct at all. We would always protect a fellow soldier. And, it would be horrible for anybody to think that a soldier would not protect another soldier, gay or straight. So the military's been awesome.
Well, Captain, thank you for your service. I mean it on all fronts, and I'm glad that this country gets better all the time. And I always say, the fight for rights always wins eventually in this country. It always does win. Progressives ought to know that. It takes a long struggle, but the good guys eventually win, like you. Thank you, Captain Steve Hill, for coming on this show. You're always welcome. We'll get you back again when this heats up again in a positive way. When we return, let me finish with a frightening thought. Now, here's a frightening military thought. A bomb thrower, Newt Gingrich, with his hands on a nuclear weapon. All of them. You're watching Hardball, only on MSNBC.